Dear Diary, today is one of the days I remembered the fond moments of my childhood. And this happens to be in the home of one of my mom's best friends, Ma Rose. Ma Rose was pretty. She still is pretty. Anytime I think of her as that loving, motherly figure who would want to ask you, do you need something? How was school today? You know, she was just everything every child would ever wish for, as a mother, as an auntie, as a grandmother. She was my mom's, or she is my mom's, one of my mom's best friends. Anytime I think of her, I can just imagine growing up and picking one or two things from her. But Ma Rose had a tough life. Let me tell you about Ma Rose's diary. Ma Rose worked in one of the top institutions in the country. She was a trained and skillful secretary. She did very well in her career life. She had no child of her own. She didn't have a biological child, of her own. I had heard at the time I met her that she had been married before, but she was divorced or separated at the time I met her. She had a beautiful house. I also found out later that it wasn't really her house, that it was the house of her cousin or brother or something like that. It's been a long time. So even though the house didn't belong to her, she kept it very well. She had the lawns manicured, constantly painted. Beautiful place, and she had so many people living in the house. Some were her church people, some were her nieces and nephews, her cousins. Everybody lived in Ma Rose's house. We lived in Ma Rose's house at a point. And like I said, she was supportive. One day we heard she was getting married to someone in the US. America. We're all excited. And particularly, she had 3 nephews and a niece. The niece was about my age. So we used to do everything together. Her name was Olivia. Ma Rose got married. She went to America. We were all excited because now we have an auntie living in America. Olivia knew that if anybody would live with Ma Rose, it would be her. She had been formally adopted by her. She was adopted by Ma Rose, and that was her daughter. Ma Rose went through a lot. Well, I cannot narrate all the circumstances, but I know that she was married about 4 times until her recent one. None of them were as a result of her misconduct or anything of the sort. Life hadn't just treated her fairly. Ma Rose moved to Germany and then had arrangements done, and then took Olivia along. Now, before she took Olivia and I were in the same class. She wouldn't concentrate, she wouldn't learn, she didn't bother taking exams. There are times that I realized that she just didn't feel obliged to perform well in school because she was going to go out of the country anyway, so why the stress? It took a while. I think just about the time we went to the university or secondary school, that was when she left the country to Germany. Now, when Olivia got to Germany, living with Ma Rose, I know that the arrangement was to help come also pick her brothers so that they could all have a better life, considering that they were all looking forward to start life in Germany. I found out recently that Olivia got married to someone in another country and refused to help her brothers also get into Germany. The reason being that she was in love. So all obligations, all arrangements had been aborted. Olivia has 4 children with a foreigner. The gentleman has left her. So Olivia is left with 4 children. She cannot work. Her siblings are still here, not really been able to do much for themselves. Ma Rose is now taking care of Olivia's children when she's in Germany, helping her with that. She bought a piece of land in Ghana, in Accra, and she lost that as well. So I'm thinking, how does this happen? I can't begin to enumerate the number of unfortunate incidents around Ma Rose. Some of them are quite heavy to even pen down. But this is someone who has been selfless from day one. She has always catered for other people. She has always taken care of other people's children. She's at that age where she wants to be taken care of. But does she have the luxury for that or to get that? And I know that there are days that she cries, she thinks about some of these things, and she feels that God has let her down. But I don't believe so. But this person has been around for a very long time, and there are days that she feels like giving up. Maybe yours may be more than hers. Maybe hers will be maybe more than yours. But as we pray for ourselves each day, we cannot afford to forget the number of Ma Roses in our lives, a number of people who have invested a lifetime in things and people, and also have lost out on all of that. Let's remember to share a prayer with people like that. You never know how far your prayer will get to. So you can also share your prayer, your comments on any of our pages, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe, don't forget to also share and like. Now, there might be more stories, so don't forget to ring a bell so that you don't miss the next episode of Auntie Marian'S Diary. A prayer to you all.